A 6.4 magnitude earthquake has hit Southern California. The trembler was felt throughout Los Angeles and even in Las Vegas. It was quickly followed by several smaller aftershocks in the area. Mira Baines is on the story and joins us now live. Mira.
Andrew, we've been monitoring this situation. Authorities have said that this is the largest earthquake to hit Southern California since 1994. It measured a magnitude of 6.4, and it is said to have hit near Los Angeles, about 320 kilometers north of Los Angeles. And it's said to be about 5 miles deep, about 8.7 kilometers, which means it has an amplified effect. Now, there have been at least 4 large aftershocks. There have been reports that some of these aftershocks have been as high as 4.7. There are reports of scattered damage, and we are receiving tweets about where some of that damage is. We're hearing from Kern County. The fire department there says it has responded to over 24 incidents ranging from damage to structure as well as fires as well in the Ridgecrest, California region. So a lot of situations that authorities and officials have been trying to deal with in this. I want you to take a listen to an official with the U.S. Geological Survey.
The earthquake is near China Lake and Ridgecrest, so the area to the east of the southernmost part of the San Andreas Fault. It is a relatively uninhabited, it's a sparsely inhabited area, so the number of people who would have received damage is much lower. We should be expecting lots of aftershocks, and some of them will be bigger than the 3s that we've been having so far.
About 25 aftershocks are expected. A tsunami is not expected, according to the National Tsunami Warning Center. Andrew?
All right, Mira, thank you. The biggest earthquake in 20 years has rattled Southern California. Geologists say it measured 6.4 in magnitude. The epicenter was near the town of Ridgecrest, about 240 kilometers northeast of Los Angeles. The effects of the tremor were felt across a large swath of Southern California, right to the Pacific coast. People in neighboring Nevada also say they felt the ground shake. Officials say there are about 24 medical and fire incidents related to the quake, but no major injuries have been reported. The National Tsunami Warning Center says a tsunami is not expected. Rosa Gomez is a journalist based in Southern California. She was at her West LA home when the earthquake hit, and that is where we have reached her. So, Rosa, what was it like?
Hi, Andrew. Well, it was a little bit unexpected. Everybody is enjoying their 4th of July holiday. Most of us were at home, and what started like some minor rattling rapidly escalated and became a full-on quake. I can tell you I was sitting on my couch and picture frames are rattling. We have a balcony adjacent to the family room, and the glass doors are shaking, TVs, lamps, everything. And it was pretty long. We're used to short quakes of about 3-5 seconds. I saw reports that this one lasted around 30 seconds, which while you're living it feels like an eternity. It felt like 5 minutes, but it's pretty long for definitely Southern California LA standards.
And so when you were feeling it for those, what you say was pretty long, that 30 seconds, did you have concerns that it was going to become more powerful, or were you worried?
Yes, and we're using to very short, maybe shaky, cracking earthquakes. This was very, very long. So I think about halfway through the quake, I was with my husband at home, and we were wondering, should we go out? We took a peek on the balcony. Nobody was on the streets yet. But yes, there were definitely concerns on whether we should evacuate the building or not. If you live in LA, or if you live even in the entire California area, you always have a little backpack somewhere just in case. But yeah, there were concerns because due to the length, definitely, of the quake. And it felt like a rolling quake. So, if there's some sort of damage to the structures, right, that put somebody in danger. So yeah, so we definitely were about to leave the building. We kept monitoring what was going on outside, you know, and I think the difference also with this one and why we were a little bit hesitant is because we didn't get an alert. We usually get alerts in LA when there's this kind of, when there are like earthquakes that are of certain magnitude. We did not get an alert because this one was outside the LA County, right? It was more towards the rural Central Valley area. So we did not get an alert, but there are reports of damages, minor damages, and minor medical emergencies.
And as it has been pointed out, the epicenter is in a fairly sparsely populated area, you know, hundreds of kilometers or a couple of hundred miles away from Los Angeles. But you talked about it feeling like a rolling quake. Can you describe what that is? What is a rolling quake? And tell me more about how that feels.
Quake, yes. A rolling quake is basically, imagine that something is rolling underneath the surface. So you start feeling, you don't feel like a steady shake. You feel like things are moving. Imagine like as if you were dizzy. So there are different kinds of quakes. And if you've been here long enough, I've lived in LA for 7 years, you can start differentiating the kind of quakes that you get. So yes, no, it definitely felt like a rolling quake. And as you mentioned, Andrew, it happened in a very sparse, like not so populated area. So even though it was a 6.4 magnitude earthquake, I think the damage and the impact is way less. It's, you know, whereas it would have happened in the LA area, which is a highly populated, you know, area and county.
Is a rolling quake potentially more dangerous or potentially can cause more damage, or?
It could potentially cause more damage in terms of structure. So rattling and shaky steady quakes could like break, I don't know, small glasses or picture frames. Rolling quakes move the entire structure of the buildings and the construction. So and so that's kind of the difference, definitely. So you don't see such a small, like, little damages, but you can see bigger damage in terms of bigger structures.
So, of course, you know, you hear about this quake, which is the biggest to hit Southern California in 20 years, right? It starts to make you, starts to make you think about the possibility of the big one, of another one?
Yes, I think everybody's pretty familiar with what unfortunately happened back in '94 in Northridge. So there's always this big fear for everybody in California and living above the San Andreas failure that, you know, there may be a big one coming up soon. So yes, that's always in the back of your head. Personally, we do have backpacks with emergency kits just in case, close to the door. And I know many people who also do that. So yes, it was definitely, it was the largest after the '94, which I think was 6.6. This one was 6.4. Again, luckily it happened in an area where it's not as populated.
What about aftershocks? Have you felt any aftershocks?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I have not felt. I do. What I can tell you is, like, while it was happening, there were waves, right? So first started like a small rattling, then a small roll, then a larger roll. So I think it came into waves. I have not experienced any aftershocks, nor have read any reports of aftershocks so far.
And as soon as this was happening, I understand that you started to receive messages from friends, family, others. Can you just tell me what other people have been experiencing?
Yeah, so I think towards the northern area of the LA County, which is Ventura, even the San Fernando Valley, which is Encino, Sherman Oaks, those are residential areas. I have many friends who live in that area, and they were texting. They're like, "Are you okay? We felt it's pretty strong." They did come out of their houses. Towards the south of LA, maybe Anaheim County, Long Beach, they did not feel it. And I have a couple of friends who live in Long Beach. One of them said they kind of felt like a really heavy truck was driving by, but that was it. The other one didn't feel anything at all. So I think the closer, obviously, you get to the center of the quake, yes, then the more you felt it. But yeah, towards the south of LA, like Orange County, Anaheim, Long Beach, all of those areas did not feel it as much as I think the LA area, the LA County, and the San Fernando Valley, which are closer to the north part of Southern California, basically.
Rosa, appreciate you taking the time. I imagine, I know you're a journalist and today you're off work, but here you are working because of this personal experience.
You know, happy to talk to you. Hopefully we'll do it soon in better circumstances.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Rosa. That is Rosa Gomez in Los Angeles.